Shockwaves in Minnesota. St. Paul's mayor just called Trump's recent remarks targeting Somali-Americans shockingly UN-American. What did he say? Why is the Somali community alarmed? And what could this mean for U.S. politics? Stay tuned, this is a story everyone needs to hear. The controversy started when former President Trump made statements that critics argued disproportionately singled out Somali-Americans, raising concerns about discrimination and the targeting of a minority community. While the Trump campaign framed these comments as part of a broader political strategy, local leaders in St. Paul, a city with a large and vibrant Somali-American population, responded quickly and strongly. The mayor, in particular, did not hold back, publicly denouncing the remarks as shockingly UN-American and asserting that they undermine the values of equality, diversity, and community cohesion that St. Paul prides itself on. To understand why this is such a big deal, it's important to consider the context. St. Paul has been home to one of the largest Somali communities in the United States for decades. Somali immigrants began arriving in Minnesota in the 1990s, fleeing civil war and seeking safety and opportunity. Over the years, the community has grown to include tens of thousands of residents who contribute to the city's economy, schools, healthcare system, and cultural life. Somali-Americans in Minnesota are doctors, teachers, entrepreneurs, and public servants. Many of them are deeply integrated into the civic fabric of the state. Given this long history and the contributions of the Somali community, any political rhetoric perceived as targeting them is more than just words. It's a direct challenge to the city's values and its commitment to inclusivity. The mayor's statement reflects a broader concern that singling out an entire ethnic community can create fear, tension, and division. It's a reminder that political language can have real-life consequences for communities that already face unique challenges related to immigration, assimilation, and representation. Trump's remarks have sparked a nationwide debate. Supporters of the former president argue that he is simply addressing policy issues or raising legitimate concerns about certain communities. Critics, however, argue that framing Somali-Americans or any immigrant group as a political problem crosses a line and veers into discrimination and xenophobia. For residents of St. Paul, many of whom have family, friends, or colleagues who are Somali-American, this debate is intensely personal. It's not just about politics, it's about dignity, safety, and belonging. The mayor's response also highlights a key political dynamic. Local leaders are often the first to witness the impact of national rhetoric on their communities. When a population feels threatened or singled out, it can lead to tension, anxiety, and even harassment. By speaking out, the mayor is sending a clear message that the city will not tolerate discriminatory rhetoric and that Somali-Americans are valued and protected members of the community. This kind of leadership can be crucial in maintaining social cohesion and ensuring that residents feel safe and supported, even in the face of national political disputes. Social media has played a huge role in amplifying this story. Within hours of the mayor's statement, hashtags supporting Somali-Americans and denouncing discriminatory rhetoric began trending. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram were flooded with posts from residents, activists, and public figures expressing solidarity. Many highlighted the achievements of the Somali-American community, emphasizing that they are an integral part of St. Paul's identity. Others criticized Trump, framing his comments as divisive and counterproductive. The online reaction illustrates just how deeply this issue resonates, not only locally but across the country. It's also worth noting the historical significance of Somali-American activism in Minnesota. Over the years, members of the community have become increasingly engaged in local politics, education boards, and civic initiatives. They have advocated for better representation, improved services, and policies that protect immigrant communities. The mayor's defense of the Somali community aligns with this long-standing activism, reinforcing the idea that inclusion and civic participation are core values in Minnesota. Legal and civil rights experts have also weighed in. Many argue that targeting a community based on ethnicity, religion, or immigration status can have serious legal and social consequences. While political speech is protected under the First Amendment, there are lines that, when crossed, can foster discrimination, harassment, or even hate crimes. Experts stress the importance of public leaders, including national figures, using their platform responsibly, particularly when discussing minority communities that may already be vulnerable. The reaction from the Somali-American community itself has been telling. Community leaders and residents have expressed both concern and resilience. They acknowledge the challenges posed by national political rhetoric but emphasize their continued commitment to contributing to society and participating fully in civic life. Many have called for dialogue, understanding, and engagement rather than division. Their responses demonstrate the strength and solidarity of a community that has faced adversity but continues to thrive. Media coverage of the controversy has been extensive. National newspapers, online outlets, and television programs have all highlighted the mayor's statement, Trump's remarks, and the reactions from the Somali-American community. Commentators have debated whether the rhetoric represents a political strategy, a genuine concern about policy, or a form of scapegoating. Regardless of the interpretation, the coverage has elevated the conversation about how political leaders address immigrant communities and minority populations. Politically, this controversy could have broader implications. Minnesota is often viewed as a swing state in national elections, and the Somali-American population, while not the largest demographic, represents a growing and engaged voting bloc. Candidates who are perceived as hostile to immigrant communities may face backlash, while those who advocate for inclusivity and equality may see increased support. The mayor's statement, therefore, is not just symbolic, it could influence voter sentiment and political strategies in the upcoming election cycles. Beyond politics, this issue speaks to the moral and ethical responsibilities of leaders. Cities like St. Paul have a tradition of welcoming immigrants and celebrating cultural diversity. When national leaders make statements that appear to single out specific communities, it challenges the social fabric of these cities. Leaders at the local level, like the mayor, are stepping in to reaffirm the values of equality, respect, and human dignity. Their actions serve as a reminder that political discourse has consequences and that defending marginalized communities is a crucial aspect of responsible governance. It's also worth noting the role of education and public awareness. Schools, community organizations, and advocacy groups in St. Paul are using this moment to educate residents about Somali culture, history, and contributions. By fostering understanding and empathy, these efforts aim to counteract divisive rhetoric and build bridges across communities. This educational aspect is critical because it helps prevent polarization and ensures that younger generations understand the value of diversity and inclusion. The controversy has also sparked debates about the media's role in amplifying statements from national figures. Some argue that media coverage can exaggerate or sensationalize comments, while others believe it is essential to hold leaders accountable. Regardless, the coverage has brought Somali-American issues to the forefront, encouraging broader discussions about immigration, minority rights, and civic responsibility. On a personal level, the impact of such rhetoric can be profound. Somali-American families have reported feeling anxiety and fear when political figures appear to target their community. Children in schools may face bullying or questions about their background, and adults may encounter suspicion or hostility in everyday interactions. The mayor's public support serves as a counterbalance, sending a clear message that the city stands with its residents and condemns discrimination. Looking forward, the key takeaway is the importance of leadership that prioritizes inclusivity and human dignity. The mayor's statement is more than just political commentary, it is a declaration of values. It demonstrates that public officials have a responsibility to protect all citizens, particularly those from vulnerable communities, and to foster a culture of respect and equality. In conclusion, this story is about much more than one statement or one political figure. It's about the Somali-American community in St. Paul, their contributions, and the broader questions about how leaders engage with minority populations. It highlights the tensions between national political rhetoric and local community values, and it underscores the power of local leadership in shaping discourse and protecting residents. The controversy is a reminder that words matter, that leadership carries moral weight, and that communities will respond when they feel targeted or marginalized. The Somali-American community in St. Paul continues to thrive, engage, and contribute to society, and local leaders like the mayor are making it clear that discriminatory rhetoric will not go unanswered. This story will likely continue to evolve, but one thing is certain: it has sparked an important conversation about inclusion, civic responsibility, and the kind of society Americans want to build. For those following U.S. politics, this is a moment to watch closely. The implications go beyond Minnesota, touching on national debates about immigration, minority rights, and political accountability. It's a reminder that every statement from a political leader has consequences, and that communities across the country are paying attention, speaking out, and defending their values.